Hey there, you salty pirates. So here we go. It's TFC Live, Season 2, Episode 44. I've just noticed I've missed a letter off there. Okay, it's a Bounty3 review, and yeah, that FM thing. Hi, admins, how are we doing?
Hello, doing well, you?
Yeah, reasonable. Robin, how are you?
I'm doing good, thanks.
George, how are you, buddy?
I reserve my rights to say anything right now.
Oh, that's so American. Okay, and welcome all in chat. It's a lively chat already, and I actually logged on earlier on about 2 hours before. There were 7 people in there talking about the FM update already, and but we will get to that. So the slides tonight are pretty pictorial, okay, and I've left the update for the FM to the very, very end because that may cause a few things to happen. I'm not sure, but anyway, let's go through some positives first, and I'll get the slides up and we'll look at some of the good things that have happened over the last 7 days, if I can, that is. Right, so you should be able to see the slides, hopefully. I'm hoping that's the case. Excuse me, my voice still isn't perfect. Right, so there we go. And what's in tonight's update? So there we go. That's what we've got. The Bounty3 review, the Tech Up 2, okay, TLC, which is obviously just come up, the Locator update, and the infamous FM changes. So we'll have a look at those, and we'll see how it goes, shall we? Right, Robin, over to you.
Okay. Well, want to go through Bounty3. Of course, that just finished on Monday, 4-day event, and a slightly different format for the review this time because of the changes. There were a couple of changes from 2.0. The cost to opt into Bounty was removed. It wasn't a huge amount of resources, but it was one less step. And then they boosted the chest prizes when you hit certain checkpoints. Some of those were a lot more giving than they were last time. So those were the positive things. Some of the negative things: increased bounty received to 40%. Some would say that that was a positive. I'll just kind of go into why it's a little bit of a negative later on. But they increased that to the 40%. And then they increased the grant time period. Originally, the grant period was every 4 hours for the 800 grant, and this time it was bumped up to every 6 hours. And they also increased... Yeah, they also increased the bounty required for the checkpoints. Very extreme one on the last day.
Grr.
Okay. A couple of things, and first off, I'd like to thank, there were a couple of players that I hit up for some information. Raina was one, Venom was another, and a couple of other people that I talked to. I am not way at the top of the tree when it comes to attacking bases, so I talked to some of the higher level hitters in the game to get some feedback on the way that it was for them and how it worked for them. The first issue that popped up was the inability to find player bases for long periods of time. If everybody who had more bounty than you was in a bubble, you weren't able to hit them, or if you were kind of at the top of the food chain, then you were not able to find targets. And in some instances, that went on for a day and very long periods. So that was an issue. And because of that, it actually forced reliance on the bandit-occupied bases due to the fact that you had no targets out there for you to hit against other players. Okay. And speaking of the bonus horde bandit-occupied bases, everybody knows that these were a random and limited spawn. First off, they were very, very limited. There were only a couple of targets per sector, as far as I am aware. If you were not on the game and you blinked, you missed it. It was a very quick period before they were all snagged. The spawn times did not correlate with non-US players. The folks that were overseas, I think it was like 4 a.m. a couple of times, and then no indication of the spawn. And Mark took the time to put together a chart here that shows you exactly what times the spawns were from Kicks time to the UK time. I don't know if you want to speak to that, Mark?
Yeah, basically, so I got a bit of information from various players that basically said to me, yeah, spawn now sort of stuff. So I got together all the messages that I picked from people, from friends from the US and that sort of stuff, and a couple from Australia as well. So it just seems, well, it says it was a random spawn time. Well, it's randomish, but it's not globally random. You know, and as you can see by those clear delineations there of the, and that you can see the key down the bottom there. So what I thought was a good time is, the adults come home in the evening sort of stuff, and whatever time you sort of finish. Bear in mind that's kicks time, so we're talking the West Coast. It's a bit different as you move across the states. I get that, but 3 reasonable good slots there, I think, to be honest. But as you move further, towards across the pond, across the Atlantic, it gets an awful lot worse sort of stuff, and then the further east you go, sort of stuff, the worse it gets. Up until the point where obviously it completely flips on its head, and then like people down in Oz, it wasn't so bad, I suppose, for some of them. But even they've got 5 time zones.
Yeah, I was going to say they're the ones that got hit worst last time, were they not?
Yeah, well, that's what I was told. I know a couple of people I was talking to about it said that they were really, they just couldn't do them at all because it was something like 4 a.m. or something in the morning. But I just think instead of doing time zones, why don't they just say, right, every hour, that in your world, there's 30 targets. Go find them. They can just turn up anywhere. And you just got to go chase them,
kind of like those
something.
Reaver VXP ones they did, where it was like 1 per spawn, but you didn't know where it was going to spawn.
It could just be anywhere, and it doesn't have to be at the same tower, so you wouldn't even know which tower it was at, and that sort of stuff. So you really got to go looking for it, and they stay there until they're all dead. So even if they just refresh maybe every hour and that sort of stuff, but you know that they're out there somewhere. So at least if you're sat at your keyboard, you've got something to do rather than sitting there for hours just waiting for a spawn because you've got no targets to freaking hit because there's nothing on your locator. It just gripped me. For the UK personnel, they were sat here for some of them. Look at those time zones between the Thursday and the Saturday one, and then the Saturday to the Monday one. Whole day Sunday. That was a really enjoyable Sunday kick. I thoroughly enjoyed that one. Thanks very much.
Okay.
But, anyway, sorry.
So no, it's all valid. I sat there for hours and hours myself, even in the US, and then it finally came late for me as well.
Yeah,
I just think per world, 30 targets every hour. That's it. Go find them.
Yeah, they gotta change something. I was thinking more along the lines of cut the payout by 1/3, and then have them spawn 3 times as much. Something's got to be done. The whole mechanic there is, yeah, Bounty's got to get looked over,
improved. Yeah, changed. Anyway, okay, let me go forward one.
Okay, and just really quickly, this was the checkpoint setup. Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, you'll see that the max checkpoint was 10K when you went ahead and banked, and then on Sunday we jumped all the way up to 57,120 before you could bank. That was an issue. If we could move on to the next slide. Okay, this was kind of unrealistic. I know they wanted to promote base hitting, and there was a lot of base hitting, but there was also kind of a negative to this. There were massive swings on the last day. There were actually people that were running around like 10 minutes left and hitting bases and getting bounty to pop them over, which of course caused other people to miss out on the hull because of a last minute hit. Yes, it's a pirate game. However, it finished at like lunchtime on Monday for the US. So there were people that were stuck at work, couldn't defend, could not, log in and click repair, those types of things. And also because it was such a large checkpoint and such a large place where you had so much unsecured bounty. If somebody did hit you, it wasn't like you lost 1,000 or maybe, a couple of hundred bounty. You were losing huge amounts. And there are a couple of examples there where, one poor guy lost 5,000 in one hit. There were a couple in my sector that lost upwards of that and basically missed out on the hull because of it. So I'm not sure if a better thing would be maybe to lower that checkpoint so that you at least had the opportunity to bank. If I go out there and earn the 37,000 to get the ship, I want to be able to try and bank, at least some of that, if that makes sense. Anybody else, any points on that?
I know plenty of people that are unimpressed and definitely didn't get and didn't get what they thought they were going to get, even though they thought they had enough points. So it did annoy a few people, I have to say.
I actually had extra in unsecured, and I tried to figure it out that if I lose 40%, how much will I have left of my unbanked bounty, which was okay because if I had been hit, I would not have lost it and I still would have gotten the hull. The problem is now I'm left over with all this extra bounty that I can't spend. So
yeah, and wasn't it the case that actually right at the very, very end, we said there was going to be so many spawn times and that sort of stuff? Didn't it actually do one of those 800 bonuses right at the end as it finished?
It did do the grant, yes.
Which was weird. Because I know one of my guys went, "Oh, I haven't got it," and they went, "No, I haven't. I've got it. No, I haven't got it," and he couldn't actually work it out until he went to the thing. He went, "I don't get it. I've got it. I've just got hit. I've just lost some bounty, and now I've got it." And fortunately for him, he was in that zone where if it wasn't for that last spawn, he would have never have got the ship. So turned out that's a real surprise to him. So.
Yeah, and speaking of the chests, they did bump them up. Like I got 2 chests that were both 2 single-day Conqueror tokens, which were kind of nice. But I did hear from people on the last day who were getting up there to the chests where you reach that checkpoint, you're all excited, and it was 40k uranium. So if you're gonna have such a massive checkpoint, then I think the places where you earn enough to get those chests, I think, should be worth something more than 40,000 uranium.
Interesting. Right. Okay.
Okay. I really enjoyed Bounty. I had a lot of fun defending my base. I had a lot of fun at, attacking other bases. I couldn't lose Bounty. People would laugh at me and send me funny PMs. I didn't lose any Bounty, but I'm not sure that I'd do it again because of the cost associated with playing it.
I sort of hinted at that myself over the last show.
Yeah, and that kind of ties with the second point about no reward for a successful defense. If somebody hits my base and kills my base and they win, great. But in order to be relevant again in 3 hours, I have to coin my base repairs and I have to coin my guard fleet, even if they didn't get any bounty. If I won, I got nothing for it except a repair bill. So I don't know. I know there was a concern about, collusion and somebody coming to hit my base to donate bounty. And I can see where that would be an issue. But maybe there's something along the lines that they could do that's not bounty, but yet would still help the person with the defending. And so I was thinking, maybe 50% damage, but OP not destroyed gets you a 4-hour guard ship repair token or something similar, enough damage to where, somebody who is trying to give bounty to other people is not going to do it with a really good fleet or is not going to make it, but just, something extra to help out with that defense.
Yeah, I must admit, for me personally, I don't know how George felt about it, but I spent probably more coin. Where, like I said, I went over one of those limits when I got to hit the 10k thing. And I managed to go and find, literally because I was a bit of a night owl, and I managed to go and find some of those nice ones. And I got 3,200s in one go. And then all of a sudden I was left with already then clocking in. And I had to wait 12.5 hours before it went past the 24-hour counter. And I had to defend my base, I think, about 4 times, I think it was. And that cost me a heck of a lot of coin. And actually, it'd probably be better if I just lost the bounty in the long run. So I will take note of that next time and probably just let people take it away, But
yeah, that was probably the biggest discouragement for me and for the other folks that were actively, who I guess actively versus passively, just taking the grants type of thing. That was probably the biggest complaint that people had. The other thing, we went just a little too quick. The other thing that was on there, because there was no bonus targets and because there was no players to hit, there were people that were grinding out thousands of points on, the 50s and the 85s, which, essentially kind of turned it into a raid. And it's been mentioned many times. It's funny because people were saying it's PvE, we don't want PvE, and on the other hand, screaming for the bounties. But that's because you needed those if there weren't any targets in order to be able to make, the prize points. So I don't know if it's lower the prize amounts and not do the bounty targets. I don't know what the line is there, but it really did feel like a raid there for a while.
Yeah, and I did see a quick post about, I think it was from GDA, I think it was, that they are planning still on doing the, yes, you get a bonus for defending, but it wasn't ready for this one because there were some things they wanted to iron out, as ever.
Oh, good. I'm happy to hear that. Okay.
But, yeah.
And then the other thing that changed this time, which was kind of annoying, they doubled the price of things that were in the last bounty. So, I can understand maybe the newer stuff coming out with the higher price and leaving the other stuff at the same price. I mean, we didn't get an up-in grant. We didn't get a shorter, grant time. That was, essentially less that was given out for free, for want of a better word. But they doubled the price on the Clipper missiles, the specials, the special for that, as well as the snake turret and the caustic catalyst. And so I hope, this is not a trend that's going to continue where we're going to see other things just increase in price. So that was a little bit unexpected.
Cool. Okay.
Yep.
Right. George, you're the man with all the tech knowledge. Okay, then. Do you want to take this section, mate? Because my voice is already going.
Actually, I'm sorry. Right now, I can't. I'm in the middle of 115.
Okay. Ren, do you want to talk about tech, mate? Have you got the game up still? I don't know. He's not got his mic on.
Sorry, I had wasn't.
So I'll bring the pictures up, mate. If people want to just sort of like do a reflection on what we got. So clearly, Tech 2, it's the same thing as last time. But what I like this time, it says that obviously, I take it as the same targets. I'm hoping that's the situation. You all should be able to know that sort of like it's in groups of 3 and that sort of stuff, So normally target 1, 2, and 3 is the same, and then it sort of escalates to 3, 4, and 5, and then it escalates again to 6. I don't know.
It's 1, 2, 3, then 2, 3, 4, then 3, 4, 5, and so on.
Yeah.
Until the last 2 levels actually adds 1 target, so it's 4 targets on the last 2 packs, I believe, or 3.
Yeah, so the evil ones at the end, which a lot of people couldn't get to, which was a bit of a pain. At least they haven't done a complete whole run of new targets this time. So it's nice there that they've said that, here you go, here's the TLC. You can get 5 new components this time, as opposed to obviously the number from last time, as well as a chance to catch up on 4 of the previous as well. So it's random again, which is a bit odd, but you can't get the same thing twice, I suppose. So it won't be.
No, so the way it works, and that's something I think I mentioned last month when people were concerned that they didn't get everything. So now it's still 9 prize packs. There are 5 new items, meaning you can get, let's say you do all 9, either you're going to get randomly 5 new items mixed with 4 items from last time. So I think last time we had all 9 new items. So plus 5 now, it's 14 new items in total. If last time you got 8, this time you have 7 to go. And then in the last 2 prize packs, 8 and 9, you're going to get tokens.
Yeah,
right?
basically, yeah.
If you don't have the most powerful fleets and you can do the last few packs, let's say you can only go up to pack 5, because up to pack 5 was pretty easy. Certainly packs 1, 2, 3 you can do with Apollos, well-built Apollos. But up to pack 5 was really easy. So if you didn't get all the items last time, you do the first 5 packs and you're going to get 5 items, which may be some of the brand new items and some of the items you didn't get last time. So this stack up stuff is going to keep, my guess, that's not official information, is going to keep coming up monthly. And it's a way for them to deliver new tech. I mean, without putting everything in FM, since everybody loves the new FM.
I was just going to say that. If it was the old format, I'd have gone, yeah, it's a really good way of doing it. But thank God it's not in the FM now at the moment anyway. Right, So let's have a look, shall we? And let's see what it is. So here we go. Blah, 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 blah. Yeah, that's fine. No, I should have took that slide out, actually. Okay, so this is the first item then, which I don't think we've got anything like it, to be honest.
Yeah, that's a very different special. I mean, there was a limited special before that I think added like 10 or 20.
10, yeah.
10. So 10 ship and 10 structure deflection. But this time they released 2 specialized specials, if I may say so. So this one, the SH, that's a skirmish sort of special. So it only gives you ship deflection, but gives a whole bunch of it. It gives 200 ship deflection. And it can be equipped on all the PvE classes. So you cannot put it on Conquerors, you cannot put it on Defenders, but you can put on any PvE ship you want.
It's not very chubby either.
No, it doesn't have a lot of weight, it's only 10%. extra weight to the armor. So if you're combining that with charged armor, which is really lightweight, it's pretty much a free special in terms of weight. And you know, like for instance, I think the Tide Seekers, they are low on deflection, so you could add that special to a slot and probably something like triple the ship deflection of your Tide Seekers. Or same thing with the Fangtooth. The Fangtooth, I think, has a base of 100. If you put some charged armor, maybe you get it to 140, 180. Here's a chance you can go and get it up to 300.
Yeah,
right?
I like it. It's good special.
400. It's a very cool special. Yes. I mean, of course, this one should never, ever, ever, ever be equipped to a siege ship. So don't put that on your cannoneers, for instance. But maybe that's what the ships will need to do the new FM target. I don't know. Because the rhinos are killing the ships, right? The Zalos tank. Maybe that's what you need.
Yeah, interesting. Well, we'll have a little, we can keep that on the back of your head. Yeah, good. Excellent.
Let's look at the next one. Okay, that's the counterpart for structure deflection. So same thing, same weight, same classes, same everything. It just adds 200 structure deflection. So if your ships are struggling with building damage, or damage from buildings, I should say, that's a special you'd put on your ironclads if you want, or maybe your cannoneers, you know.
Yeah, that's a good one. So lightweight again.
Very, yes.
Cool. Like this one.
I loved it. I mean, not only for the very manly purple color, but I really like the stats. 12% splash damage reduction, which when you think about some conquerors in game can make them really, really, really OP. The evade bonus 16% and extra 200% turn speed. You know, it's a huge, huge gain when you compare against the good old Ion Thruster that's been in game for 45 years since the MS-DOS version. You know, now that's at R0, just to compare. The turn speed you get from Thruster 3 at R15 is 205%. Right?
Yeah, so this should go in the same retro group, shouldn't it?
Yeah. So when you add, like, I think it's close to 25% buff from retro, that's going to go to 40%, to 50%, something like that. Yeah. And the evade bonus is going to go up as well.
There's plenty of ships that will take advantage of this, and I can thankfully say that I'm glad I didn't fit my kings right now because I've got a different plan. Yeah, good. Like it. And I like this
for the skirmish ships. I mean, they like the Hunter or the Fangs. They can use extra splash damage reduction. It doesn't hurt.
Yeah.
And I know some people put Thruster on their subs. So there you go. Yep. You just finished your subs. You can already refit them. Isn't that cool?
Yeah, I've got some sub tokens, so I'm okay at the moment. Personally,
I don't.
What I don't know is I hope these followed along the paths of the other one where they were reduced time versus the original versions.
I hope so.
Yes.
Let me check that in game.
Because I know Magnus was way lower as well as a couple of the others.
Yeah, the 3 to the 2 is definitely better, isn't it? As was a Garrison Siege thingy as well. So
no, so I just checked the Ion Thruster 4. It's actually a whole bunch of hours. It's like 19 hours longer.
Whoa.
Yes, I just saw. Yeah, it's a very long build, and I have the officer, so I'm just double checking here.
Ren has friends.
Yeah, unlike Rue.
Yeah.
But I guess I can see that with the splash damage.
Well, that's it. 12% is, that's not to be sniffed at.
No.
So Ion Thruster 3 is about 3 hours to equip. Okay, and I'm just rounding things here. Yeah, 3 hours. And the new one is 21 hours.
Whoa.
I have a feeling
still
that
worth it,
splash
though, I
damage
think.
reduction thing is going to be really important.
Yeah, it's there for a reason. I'm doing it anyway, so.
Okay, so yeah, so let's.
Okay. There's another good one.
Yeah, I don't know if the retrofit stats don't apply to the blueprint in my game because I still don't have it, or because it's not in the group. But it's weird, if it stays as is, the actual turn speed bonus I see for Thruster 4 is lower than Thruster 3 because Thruster 4 is not showing up at R15. Maybe it's because I don't own the blueprint, I don't know.
Oh, okay. Yeah, possibly.
Let me go check RetroLab.
Well, you can check by clicking on the that sprint, because you know that's in the same as the group as the Trident.
Should be.
Well, that's what we're presuming because they actually showed it at R15 in the notes.
Mm.
Yeah, I know the new thruster is not in the RetroLab, so it doesn't benefit from retrofit. So it actually gives less turn speed bonus than thruster 3.
Okay. So that is an interesting thing then, isn't it? So now it's a trade-off. Splash
Unless
reduction.
there's a brand new group just for that one. I don't know, there isn't. It's just not there. So it actually gives less turn speed than thruster 3. Okay. Weird.
Yeah, odd. Okay, so we moved on, mate. Sonic targeting 4.
Yeah, so I mean, that's more sonar, more detection. It's a huge buff to sonar range, actually, but it adds 13% to the total weight. Let me pull up the old one.
Is it 60 or 40? I can't remember.
I think it's 40.
Sticking that on one hunter and one of your subs, you know, would still be good.
Yeah, so it's 40, the old one. It's 40. It's the same weight, so this one, the weight hasn't gone up, but the extra sonar you get doubles.
Right.
In terms of build time, the other one is roughly, I think, a day and a half. No, let me just do the math here.
It was quite long because a lot of people weren't using. They were using the standard sonar upgrade. It was long.
Yeah, it was 40 hours to install the old
slow,
one. Yeah, and the new one is last time. It's just like Mag 3. It went down by 19 hours.
Whoa. So now you got to take the other one off and put this one on.
Yeah, I mean,
isn't it?
So twice the sonar range, same weight, and it builds in a lot less time.
No,
it builds in 21 hours. Sorry, it builds in 21 hours. I just did the calculation.
Okay.
Versus 40 hours for its predecessor. So that's definitely something I'm going to be putting on my Fang teeth. Like the one that has sonar right now, because I didn't want to spend time on Sonic Targeting 3. I'm definitely going for that one. Whoever puts Sonic Target 3 now is going to be pissed.
Me included. Should we move on? That's my first.
We have more things, more important things should be pissed at, though.
Yeah. Oh, definitely. As the salt pile goes, this is just a base layer.
Yeah. This is just another bruise to the leper.
Okay.
Nuclear accelerators 2. That's interesting. So ballistic accuracy is the same as nuke accelerator 1, 40%. And I'm just loading up nuke accel here.
I mean, range is the same, obviously, at 50%, so that's fine. So there must be something. The combat bonus speed, I don't know if that's the same because that's 20.6, and then
so
splashes.
Yeah, weapon weight is the same, 55%. 40% accuracy, 50% range.
Must be splash then.
Less, I don't get it. Less combat speed. It's only 20%. Oh, at rank 1. Maybe that's why. Because Nuke Excel 1 at rank 15 gives a 24.8% bonus combat speed. Yeah, the splash stat's new. It's the main difference.
Okay, so splash is where it comes in. So really good for people with like ironclads that have got the what was the old what was the cannon for the ironclad?
So I just double checked the Mauser. I just double checked the combat speed goes up with rank.
Oh, good.
It's the only stat that goes up with rank, actually. The rest doesn't change. Now, it's a lot longer to build. I'm just doing the calculation here.
So that's great. For any cannon with splash is going to be really good because there's a plus 40%. So we like that.
It's extra 1 day, 7 hours to do.
It's always a heavy one as well, isn't it? Always has been.
Yeah.
But yeah, it gives you a nice speed bonus, so I do like it, I must admit.
To me, everything, it's so random, right? Like some of them come down from the predecessor. This one almost doubles up the build time. It seems so random to me, but whatever.
Well, I think if it's adding something new or additional, looks like it's adding time to it.
Yeah, but Garrison Battery didn't do that, did it? That was easier.
Let's move forward.
Yeah, okay, right. So we'll quickly talk about this one here then. So the Locator update, I can like this, okay? I think it's been overdue. So we have obviously more menus there, and I suppose quite a few people already had a look at it. And nice, they've also upped the bookmarks, which they did say they would probably have a look at last month for us. So that was quite a quick, I take it was an easy fix. So we've got, I don't know how many more bookmarks we've got because I've not actually had a chance to log in the game tonight. Funnily enough, our page went a bit mental earlier on for some reason. So we've spent 2.5 hours doing that. I've been doing slides, so I've not even logged in myself this evening. So I don't know how many bookmarks you can have, but clearly you can have a lot more. But it's nice now that the uranium bits there, titanium bits there, and that sort of stuff. Base parts are there as well.
Base parts was huge.
Base parts, thank God for that. Yeah. So 80 bookmarks.
Somebody in chat just said 80.
Thanks, guys. Yeah, good. Okay, so 80 double then, is it? 40 to 80?
Yep.
Yeah, good. Okay. Super. So that's a good thing. Okay, so tops there. I like that one there. And actually, one thing I will say as well, which I like as well, I did notice that somebody put it on the page, and I forgot to do a slide about it. Is when you go in the bottom corner, you look at your tokens that you got saved. They've now split them up by color code as well. Did you notice that as well? So ship build ones I think are red now, or really really dark orange, and
yeah, but
I know they changed the.
You need to be very careful.
Go ahead.
I was just going to say you need to be very careful of that because now that they're red, if you've got regular tokens plus a ship build token, so for example, I was refitting my Zealous and I scroll down, if you select the wrong red token, so just pay attention to that.
Okay.
I think they changed the actual picture though, did they not?
Sorry, what did you say?
Didn't they change the actual picture on it too?
No, it's still the ship. It's just red.
I don't know. I should have done a slide, shouldn't I, to be honest, but I really didn't have time. I'd have to go in the game, take it out and copy it, and then do some funky stuff like Andrew does, and I didn't have time for it, so. But anyway, so look at your tokens. They have changed colors and that sort of stuff, and some of them have changed colors, to be honest. So at least you can have a look at them now, but do read them as Rua said, because you might get caught out. Oh, should we do this? Okay. Let's have a look here. Oh, no. So let's come to the weekly update for the FM. So here's a bit of a reminder of as I said then, we've moved away from checkpoints and milestones. Really? Okay. System
Sorry,
of the
Mark, are we getting to the FM update?
Yeah.
Oh, so before you go there. Okay.
Okay, yeah. Sorry. I'm not helping my cough at all, mate. Okay. Look, you can read the text. Read away. Okay, the first thing that got updated, as far as I'm concerned, is just prize pools 5 and 4 or 5 that get new stuff. The rest of the stuff has been in the game already. It looks like you don't own anything, but as soon as you start, okay, then all the things you've already got will all turn to the right color and that sort of stuff. So there's something to sort of like alleviate a few people's worries. There is a problem though. The second you start, the clock starts ticking. So if you do get the prize pack 4 and that sort of stuff, and you do click and get a chest, okay, it's got a counter on it, and you've got to use the darn thing up. So really be cautious about when you intend to start this thing and when you go and get these chests and that sort of stuff. I didn't know that, or I don't think anybody knew they were going to put a counter on it. Apart from, Rue, what did you say to me earlier on? There was a hint.
We had questioned it, but there wasn't an answer to the question. The original screenshot that was on there that was shared with the first iteration of this is what we're doing also showed the expiration, and a lot of people were asking about it, and there wasn't any response. So it was kind of a hint to it. We just didn't know whether it was expired, meaning you had already grabbed the one this week, or The reverse, the worst case scenario is, exactly what it is. You've only got X amount of time to go ahead and claim that. What I don't know, and I'm hoping this isn't the case, is if I get by that chest, does that chest have the same timer, or is it just the time to claim?
I don't know. I must admit, but frustrating.
Well, the chest should actually just be in your chests. Okay. You just won't be able to get any more. The thing is like I said that last week that there's going to be a timer because that's how they've. I mean, it used the same thing, and man, people got upset and called me paranoid and tinfoil hat and all other crap. And
so it's your fault.
Saying, no, I could. When it said expired, I mean, they've used it in the past. I mean,
yeah.
Anyway, to be honest, it's really annoying and that sort of stuff. So only open them up when you need them and that sort of stuff. Just thinking about it. It's just one of a few things that are slightly frustrating this week. Anyway.
And I guess before we dive into the other stuff too, that's all right. Before we dive into it, Rampage mentioned this. We've talked about this on the shows. Ren did a really cool post on this, and pass the word. If you, yes, you did. If people are not paying attention, if you claim both chests, your token amount limit hasn't increased. So if you claim a build token in a lower level, and then let's say you win the lotto and you potentially get the 9-day token in the big one, if you have not spent that first one or you've not used those tokens, you could be losing them. So token management is very important now. You need to pay attention to what you've got in your inventory plus what you may have in the chest.
I like the term token management.
Token management.
Yeah, and so isn't that cool? Because it's harder, it takes longer, there's a timer, and if you get past through all these hurdles, and eventually some people will even spend money to get past those hurdles, and if you don't pay attention to your tokens, the price just evaporates, and screw you.
Yeah, so much for earning it. I mean, you got to earn it within X amount of time, and and we won't even go into the fact that assault.
You gotta hit 2 times more targets that are harder in less time, and you can still just lose the prize because you didn't spend the token from T4, and you got lucky enough to get the intermediate option there from pack 5.
It's even worse than just being harder. It's more intense driving. It's back to you have to drive these things perfect. Like the best one that I've gotten so far is a gridiron lead, which is absolutely ridiculous, and even that didn't make it through the entire target. I got no damage to the rest of the fleet, but the gridiron, ate it. I don't know how the hell I'm doing 13 of these things when it's 3 hours a pop.
You coin.
Hell no.
Well, but that's what they are thinking at headquarters. You coin. Let's make them coin.
This is not how you make people coin. This is how you make people
quit.
In
their mind it is, because they keep doing more of the same.
Okay, let's get through the detail, and then
for the viewers, notice the salt shaker is out.
Yeah, let's get through the detail, and then we'll do some analysis. I think otherwise this is going to go on. Okay, please note as well, and there was a follow-on point from Rampage. If you get a chest and you open it and it's one of the uranium ones on the low levels, and you've already got enough uranium, you're going to lose the contents of the chest as well. So a little bit like the daily. I'm hoping it will give you a warning, but I don't know because I've never seen this thing before. But on the daily, if you were getting close to the peak of one of the items that were stored, then it would warn you sort of stuff. So yeah, this warns you. Okay, so the prizes.
Hashtag this warn you.
Yeah. Okay, so the prizes. Yeah, we should copyright that. Okay.
No, we can't. It's Brewster's trademark. Well, not the hashtag. It's not.
The hashtag's not. Okay, so here's a prize pool 5. So when it was laid out actually on the forum, they were all a bit jumbled up. So I put them back in the right order. So there's the first one, and this is obviously the new Trident, or the updated version, isn't it?
Yes, the sprint countermeasure. I mean, I'm very careful. I don't like people saying it's the new Trident, because the Trident is a duality weapon. It has the function of a missile and the function of a countermeasure. And even though the artists at Kixeye were lazy and copied the graphics here, and you see the missiles in there, 4 of them, it doesn't fire any. It's just for decoration purposes.
Yeah, it's funny, isn't it?
Yeah. you know, it's just purely a countermeasure.
It's also big and heavy.
Well, I mean,
well,
it depends, because the thing is the broad scope of what it can do kind of covers why the weight's there.
Yeah,
yeah. I mean, a lot of people, a lot of people keep on saying it's like the new Trident, and it's not.
No,
it's kind of like a crossbreed between a Trident and a Phalanx 4. So
yes, yeah, I like the way you put that, George. That's what it is, because it's lighter than the Phalanx 4. It shoots rockets, which is a bonus. The Phalanx doesn't, but the Trident does. It has a very, very fast reload time, which could potentially make up for the salvo of 2 versus salvo of 9 from the Phalanx 4. Right?
Yep.
So, and it has very, very good accuracy and range.
Yeah, well, the only problem is it doesn't get an accuracy buff from the CM stuff, all the CM specials, where the Phalanx still does. Right?
Unless it says countermeasure accuracy, you're right.
I don't think there's anything in the game that says countermeasure accuracy. I don't think there's anything in the game that'll increase the accuracy of this, other than a native buff like the Zealous 5% on the hull.
But if you use, for instance, the subaquatic propellant special, you get a 50% reload bonus.
Yep, you can get the reload for that. Yep.
So you can get it firing like crazy.
This is
Which
true.
Doesn't help if it still only fires 1 shot at each incoming missile or rocket.
Sorry, we're just checking some stats here quickly a minute.
Yeah, the forum
sure if it matters.
In the game, it's actually 1.3 million, and on the forum release notes, it shows 1 million.
Isn't that weird, eh? So
awesome.
Again, quality assurance is not right. So say that again, Robin, if you wouldn't mind.
The prices that were put in the release notes, it says prize pool 5, all with in brackets 1 million points, but they are all actually more than that. For example, the Sprint is 1.3, the Ally panels is 1.25, so it looks like the notes were off.
1.25 for the Ally panel CR, is it?
CR is 1.250. Let me see what the other ones are.
Let's read them out then, just so I know what we've got. Then. So the CR is 1.25. What about the plate?
CTX3, sorry, CTX3 is 1.250.
Yeah.
Those are the only ones that I actually show. I must own the others.
The CTX1 and CTX2, which are both in prize pool 4 for some reason, are 275 and 300,000 respectively.
Oh, really?
I have no idea why they're both in prize pool 4. I was trying to figure that out earlier.
Yeah, I was looking at the prize pool issues as well, and there's a concern there that while we used to have like tier 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 and that sort of stuff, and now the prize pools are. Why would you go and pick if you can pick what you wanted? Why would you pick the lower one? I mean, have you ever gone and fitted on, RA2 and that sort of stuff? You wouldn't do it, would you?
Yeah, well, I mean, but you have to claim one thing before you can claim the token, so you're kind of forced to claim something.
Yeah, it's blocking that.
What you mean?
It's blocking that chest. That's all it's there for. I mean, I don't know.
Frustratingly so. Yeah. No, I get it. Okay. We'll carry on. Yeah, it's just annoying. It's just I don't quite get it.
So
sometimes.
I just triple checked what George said, and he's right. There are specials giving a countermeasure buff for range and for reload, but nothing gives countermeasure accuracy bonuses. So unlike like the Phalanx 4, you can actually, I think, get it to 100% accuracy. This one stays at 70.
Okay. So we'll basically say then the prize pool costs are random and they're not all standard, which is what we were told. So.
The prize pool costs will just be manipulated now by Kixeye as they please, because it's not like it was up to last week where the tier had a fixed amount of points needed, and whatever they added to pool 5, you would get that at the same amount of points every week. Now they can just randomly pull a value out of their asses and say, this is going to cost 3 million points, 2 million points, 1 million points. you know,
Yeah,
whatever they feel like, depending on how much money they feel like they have to make that week.
I'm
Out of the
intrigued to see the cost
remaining
creep.
players who will stick around after this debacle.
Yeah.
Well, and that's one of the things that I actually kind of spoke to in the article, and I kind of glossed over it, and I really shouldn't have. But there's no security now for the player with regard to the points inflation, right? We used to have a guarantee against points inflation because there was a hard cap on the point structure. Now there's no safety of that.
And let's face it, they've been inflating prices in raid, like their pricing points every raid for the past how many months?
Yep.
Well, the fact they need 2 fleets.
Now it's in
effect. Now 2 fleets and the points.
2 fleets and points. You know, I mean, we set ourselves up for a fall. You know, the old 1 to 1.5 coin per million. That was great when you wanted 30 million, but now you need 300 million. It ain't. It should be 0.1 to 0.1, 0.5 or something. I don't know. Anyway. Right. Anyway, so there we go. That's the sprint. We've talked about that. It isn't, a replacement of X. Okay, it's like a hash of various.
But for people who kept posting in the TFC page, how can I win the Trident? How can I win the Trident? So here, forget the Trident, get the sprint. Yeah, it's heavier, but fires a lot more, longer range, more accuracy, blah blah blah.
I'm still can't get the Trident.
Yeah, I was gonna mention too that I've been hearing some rumblings that throwing this on makes that FM a whole lot easier, which that in and of itself really pisses me off. But I haven't been able to test that out yet, so I don't know yet. I'll probably know by tonight.
Okay. Well, I'm not starting mine till the weekend, so okay. Moving on then. What have we got next then? Let's have a look at it. So next one in that prize pool. Yeah, so this is that Allies panel CR. Yeah, okay. So ballistic and radioactive, 45% each one. Turret platform, obviously defense. Are we being hit lately with either of those? So is that just another stocking filler, or is that something that's coming in the future?
That's next, isn't it? Isn't Siege?
The ballistic, no, this is for the turrets. The ballistic one is on the RIT, right? Isn't that I don't even remember now. There's so much crap that's come out. Is the RIT a ballistic hull? Because I know there was 2 cannons that came out during the.
No, the cannon, the mortar-fire cannon came for the Justice. It's just the escalation weapon for the Justice.
No, it's a missile. It's a missile hull, isn't it? No,
okay.
no, it's concussive.
I have no idea.
No, the King's Wraith came out with a concussive Gatling gun.
Yeah, so I have no idea what the hell this is for then. No clue.
This is for your turrets.
It's a stocking fire, I think.
It's turrets. I'm just saying I don't know why.
I'm just saying that if that's coming out, a ballistic Conqueror or a launcher Conqueror will be coming soon. Because if you look at we had an update to the Sloth. We had the Twin Blade missile hull. We now had a concussive hull. So, as Larry would say, in the weapon wheel of love, I think it's something like that he calls it. So next turn should be cannons. Well, we got the Rages as throwers, so maybe not radioactive, but the cannon and corrosive should come next.
Okay, moving on then. Here's the one that's really interesting.
Yay!
Yeah, concussive plate 6, so only for conquerors and defenders. So your defenders will certainly need that to see if they stand a chance against the King's Wraith. On the other hand, people can make their Twin Blades and King Wraiths even stronger against concussive damage if they need, using that plate.
Mm-hmm.
It's a choice that players didn't have before. It's the first time we have a concussive deflection armor in game.
It's interesting, yeah. And it's the first thing Rue said when she saw that. She went, the Kings, yeah. And now we've got that last little bit that could have damage too, and now all of a sudden it's just been given a bit of a buff. So, yeah. Okay. Here's another interesting one.
The Ally Armor CTX.
Yeah,
So-
explosive and concussive. 56% concussive. Look.
Yeah, that's something people using AA3 on their skirmish ships. Now can take a look at that, and maybe, for instance, on the Hunter, as the Hunter has a super high explosive defense, but was lacking on concussive defense a little bit, and I think that's why George, in his article, advocated for people using all CT charged armor. Maybe that changes the balance if you want to actually put this guy and then balance Sax and CT. I don't know. I'm just saying it's another tool in the box, right?
Is this in the? Did this make it into the retro lab? Because I think that's going to be the deciding factor.
Well, it's one of the alloys, isn't it? And normally they group them together. So
You would think.
I'm checking. Give me a second.
You would think, but lately.
because if that makes that concussive go up to be around about then nearly 70, wouldn't it?
If it can get close to AA3, that would be really interesting. I mean, the thing is that in the last target, at least, and this is the problem that I have, is in the last target, because we don't know if the target's changed, it worked out where the damage done to the Hunter, it didn't matter if he had the charge or not. The amount that got through after resistances and deflection stuff was the same if you had charged armor on or not. Now, if they change it, this is going to be interesting.
So I have game open. I don't know if you want me to share my screen, but I'm looking at a Hunter build without armor, just to compare.
Yeah, sure, go on, mate. Yeah.
Hunter build without armor and using ablative armor 3 gets 89% explosive defense and only 35% concussive defense. So 89, 35%.
Mm-hmm.
If I change that to the new CTX3, which doesn't show us rank 15, George, so I don't think it's in the lab.
Damn.
It actually goes to from 89, I said explosive, right? It goes from 89 to 67 explosive defense. And concussive goes from 35 to 71%.
Wow.
That's huge.
Yep.
Yeah. Because if you look at the blueprint, it actually gives more concussive defense, right? So I think that gives options to players. If you have a whole bunch of charged X armor but not enough CT, or vice versa, you can now play with the specials and the armor ratio to get what you need.
Would you say that's one of the first escalation items? Probably.
Because, I mean, not Sonic Target 4 is an escalation item because a lot of people equip Sonic Target 3 already. The CTX3 is an escalation because a lot of people build their new skirmish fleets with AA3. It's all stuff that now forces refits. I mean, think about it.
I just hope that they're not refits that you have to do and that they're just a little bit, because there was some that come out that are just a tweak that you kind of don't really need.
Yeah.
And there's some that you like have to do.
In the last one, there wasn't anything that really.
Yeah, and to be honest, like somebody asks me, oh, should I use CTX3 or AA3? My answer is I don't know. We have to test because, like I said, with AA3. The Hunter was at 89% explosive defense to start. I'm just playing here. With CTX3, if I put all 4 C1X, all explosive charged armor, my explosive defense is only up to 85%. It doesn't get back to 89. There's no way I can get it back to 89. But then you got to consider there's the Hunter aura that keeps adding 30% of both. So I'm going to have to put that on a spreadsheet and see if we get to 90 whatever percent. Or just test it,
Brian just done that in his head, but he's not here, unfortunately.
Yeah.
He's at lessons, so.
Okay, so let's move on.
Yeah. Okay, so what's next then? It's the next one down, okay. So that's plate 5.
Yeah.
Still 1,500 though, and we've got a little less weight, obviously, so. It's not too bad. It's if it's a bit.
It's the one you use when you're constrained by max weight.
Yeah, exactly that.
That's what it is.
Yeah, interesting. And then there's another one. The little baby one. Well, it's not that baby, but it's a tier 4 prize again. So It adds a ton, you know, 1,000 deflection there for 350 a bit. So not horrendous.
Wait,
All
where are
repairs
these?
at the same time, by the way. So
Those aren't in my game. I'm trying to look for that right now.
What's not in your game?
That concussive plate.
Hmm.
Have alloy, icebreaker, monolith, zint, Imperium.
You're not
reflective.
looking that into Shipyard, are you?
No, I'm looking at the FM prize list.
Hmm.
okay, interesting.
That's weird.
Somebody else reported that.
That's really weird. That's not a good sign.
Okay. Well, that's what it says on their forum update. That's the picture. That's where I got it from. So
I'm trying
Yeah, I
to,
don't
because
see
I was
it in
trying to
mine
follow
either.
along, and I'm like, I don't see that. Like, is this another oversight on their part? Let's see. I don't see it.
I don't have it
Anywhere.
either.
I wonder if they
Now,
have
let
it
me ask you
jumped
something,
down into prize pool
which
too.
maybe confused me.
No?
Since when do we have corrosive plates?
deflection or
Yeah, deflection, corrosive deflection plates. When was that released?
yeah, good point.
Oh, are you saying for the why it says
Because I go on my Shipyard and I go on my armors and I see corrosive plates and I don't remember that being released, but I don't see concussive plates anywhere to equip to a ship.
No, it was released. I can't remember when it was, but we talked about it because it was totally different than the others.
So corrosive is there. Okay, yeah, I don't even on the Shipyard, even checking unknown components, I don't see concussive plates anywhere. So maybe they're not in game yet.
whoopsie?
Yeah.
Yeah, I have all of the corrosive plates, as in own them, and haven't finished the FM. So yeah, I'm pretty
4,
sure it
5,
was
and
a
6. Yeah.
couple of releases ago. Yeah.
Do you know what?
Okay.
Just for I'm going to pause a second. The guys in the chat, okay, and those that watch this afterwards, okay, I do apologize, but I think the guys in the chat are having a really good, light-hearted conversation tonight. Considering what's happened today in the game and the fact that there's now 31, I think, pages in the forum about how many people hate the FM, I do give my hat off to the community sometimes. They do take things with a pinch of salt and have a quite light-hearted opinion on things.
They take it in stride. I mean, the group that we have, that both the player community and the guys that we have here in TFC and stuff, we generally have a take it in stride type of thing. I mean, it takes a bit to get us really riled up. So I don't know. I'm kind of liking it. I mean, other than Venom, Did you
and
see
Ren's
that?
getting baited. Ren's getting baited. It is funny.
What's funny?
You made me open up the chat because I hadn't had it open, and that's the first thing I saw. I was like, oh, come on.
Venom really special. Venom can't complain, right?
So let's move forward. Next.
Venom's been very lucky. Okay, let's move on. Here we go. There's the CTX2.
That's the one nobody's going to use. Next.
No. Yeah. Okay. And CTX1.
Yeah, even less people. That's freaking useless. Just a filler.
It stops you getting to tokens. Yeah, annoying, isn't it? So
yeah, it's just a filler.
Right. Okay. There we go. Let me just zip that off of there because you don't want to see what I'm going to do now because it'll just look horrendous.
Oh, we don't want to see what you're going to do?
Well, I just want to go back to that page there. There we go. Look.
Yeah.
So now we can do the spit and sawdust piece with lots of salt and that sort of stuff.
Are we going to talk about FM changes?
We certainly are.
Yes, we are. Next time he's going to have to paint himself. Yeah, next time he's going to have to paint himself like green before he does that.
Yeah, okay.
Canadian Hulk with a little red thingy on his forehead. But anyway. Yeah, FM. Has anyone actually run this? I know Rue has. I know I have. Have either of you two run in Mach?
So I haven't personally, okay, but I just had Agni, who's a good friend of mine, who's sent me a video clip and that sort of stuff. Now, and I talked to Rue about this before the game started. Now, first thing I just want to say, for me personally, right, a garrison target, bear in mind I've played this nearly as long as Ren, but definitely since Blackwater and just before it went from Alpha to Puddle Pirates. Okay, garrison targets, when they came in, were all about, you've got some annoying ships that are there to pest you while you do the best you can to kill off these turrets. That's the whole idea of a garrison target. It's not that you've got this annihilating manifestation of ships that are coming in to wipe you out while you try to chip away at some turrets. And that's what's happened today. That's the most annoying thing out, is they completely flipped a freaking garrison target right on its head. And now the way to fix it, which they need to fix it and put it back to what it should be, is you have to go and take in actually a completely different fleet to go and actually kill off the ships and then go back in piece by piece. And
now you do the garrison target with your assault fleet.
Yeah. It's barking. And that's what I saw. I saw somebody using a macro, okay, with a Zelos tank, with 2 monoliths, then with 2 phoenixes, and using the macro then to go around and do you basically put the 2 phoenixes with the 2 monoliths, and then have them go off at a tangent as a group of 4. Let the Zelos go in tight, do the garrison target. As soon as the ships come in, nip forward with another button on your macro, and let the 2 phoenixes go forward and kill the ships, and then group up again, and on you go again, sort of stuff. No, he did that for instant fix, but that's a ridiculous thing to have to do.
Yes, and it's not. There's no way in hell that's how it's intended. I cannot figure, because I'm trying to figure it out with just 1 fleet go in of a garrison fleet, and I'm gonna tell you, stepping back and looking at the target neutrally, right, without any bias to it, everything else is okayish. Like, I mean, there's nothing that stands out going, hey, this is not working as it should or something, except for the fleets. It's not just the Zoes. I mean, I know one of the turrets, I think the arc missile turret is tuned up significantly. I mean, very significantly, looking at some of the replays and stuff. But you know, I mean, those Zoes are like Psycho Ex-Girlfriend damage power level. They're insane. They should not be in that target at all.
And you know, like everybody using tanks like a Zelos or a monolith, a gridiron monolith tanks, keep in mind their repair time is around 4 hours, right? And that's if you didn't load conventional D5, D4, and armor. It's in the ballpark of 4 hours, and most people are having their tanks decimated by a single 115 or 2 tops. A lot of people are reporting one skiving their tank.
Now, once one killed the grid that I have. I refit it for this target, and it did much better. But it got lost.
We go from 7 top targets to complete both rounds of FM. We go to nearly 14. Let's round up to 14 new targets, and the new targets can just destroy your tank before you even complete 1. And then there's time pressure, otherwise you lose the chests if you don't do it quick enough. What the fuck are they smoking at that company?
And it's not only that, they're also technically harder to drive. It's like a technical driving experience now if you're going to try it with, I mean, if you're not going to do it even with macros, I'm sure it's, you know, you're going to have to, it's going to be an edge of the seat drive experience instead of, you know, what we could do before. I mean, and the thing is I don't know, the fundamental issue is that this is the FM. Like, this is not a raid. This is not a 1 month event where you're doing it in 3 days and that's it, and you can burn yourself out and then recover for a month, right? This is an every week thing that's going to apparently be an everyday thing because, you know, holy crap, you got to get it done within X amount of time, and you only have this time. And that, I mean, I just, you know, like one of the things I actually sent this with a note to someone today, actually 2 different people today. But I read the first paragraph off of the, or I wrote the first paragraph off of the Zealous Stepping Stone article, right? And I don't even need the whole paragraph. The first one in the last article, doing the 88 noob style, I ran an 88 with tier 2 tech or below to illustrate that the newer or returning player had an easy avenue in which they could successfully engage the FM. You can't do that now. Have you guys seen the 89? I mean, not even going into the 115. Have you seen the damn 89?
No,
holy crap!
I'm repairing from the 3 refits and 5 repairs from the 115. I can't go into the 89 yet.
It's the whole damn thing's a bloody mess.
Now, I just wanted to say, Rampage, you have balls, because he just joined the YouTube chat and he's there chatting with the players. So first of all, thanks for joining the chat, Rampage. You know, but really, why? Just why?
Well, let's remember, he didn't build the target. Okay.
No, I know, and he just said he's there to listen and pass along feedback.
But he's supposed to be our go-to man, so that's fantastic.
He's our interface inside the company, so we cannot beat the messenger. But it is goddamn frustrating, right?
I thought the target was challenging, as opposed to just kind of driving around. And I'm not talking the ships. The rest of the target I thought was challenging. It made me pay attention to, not getting too close, even with tridents, not getting too close to the cold snaps and that type of stuff, and the little nub in the center where you're trying to go into the center and paying attention to that. But the ships were just, it was beyond OP. I mean, I was lucky enough that with helping people out with the raid, I had 26 Zealous tokens in my back pocket to be able to refit. I refit my Zealous 3 times, and threw on Anti-Phalanx 4. I threw on extra charged M armor. I mean, I did that thing as best as I possibly could with respects to penetrative, and I was losing a quarter of my Zealous health just to one set of the ships. And people mention the monolith grid. There's no way the grid can even compete with that, because it doesn't have anywhere near the amount of slots to be used as well. And so
it actually got higher.
Very frustrating. It's frustrating as heck. And I've got people, just in my alliance, I've been too scared to go on sector comms, but just in my alliance, there are so many people that are frustrated that they built their fleet, maybe expecting some damage, but not expecting to walk their fleet in and losing everything. And the tokens were a nice idea, but those are gone. Nobody's been able to get any points with it, and it's just a very, very frustrating experience.
I mean, and the bad thing is we're all end game players in their eyes, and we've invested in these fleets. I mean, my gridirons, my gridiron mono and my Zealous monos are decked out. Right? I should not be taking this guy. I should have a walk in the park for being where I'm at, for putting in the time and the effort and the investment to get where I'm at. This is not how you treat those players in your game. It makes no sense. None. And as far as the grid though, I actually was playing with it in one of the refits that I did on this gridiron, because that's the only bloody tokens I had left, because I've blown them all now. I got the resistances up high enough where the grid actually can go through the target, right? The problem is the charged armor with 3 charged M armors is gone after each engagement of one of the Zealous bundles.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I mean, without...
on top of the arc missile, I don't know if people have noticed, because those always do so much damage. I don't know if anyone's actually sat down and tried to test the actual damage from the arc missiles. Those things will hurt the hell out of you, especially after your charge is gone. It's insane.
Yeah. Look, I don't know when Rampage turned up and that sort of stuff. So I just want to reiterate a couple of things. As far as I was concerned, and playing from day dot, and not just arriving in the last 18 months, the garrison targets when they first arrived was there to be a base target with a few ships in it to harass you, okay, but not give you excessive amounts of damage and that sort of stuff. The turrets themselves was the idea to do the damage, not the ships themselves. They were there just to pester you, to make you sort of like trick your mind to look at other things and that sort of stuff. They never used to do a huge amount of damage. Okay, the garrison target is still doing damage to your ships. If you run into the cold snaps, if you like say the arc missile, you're still getting the damage and it's still reasonable. Okay, the idea of putting into a set of ships now, which really takes an assault ship to actually go and kill it, it is actually then making the fact that you've now got almost the requirement to use 2 sets of ships for a simple thing that's supposed to be a weekly fast track.
One that's not even the right. Yeah, one that's not even the right class for the target type. I mean,
correct.
It's clearly
yes.
assault
So where does that
fleet
take us?
in a garrison target.
Well, yeah, and that's the thing that I want to know is why there's only 2 of them. Hold on, there was only 2 of them that you saw in that video, right, Mark? How are 2 Phoenixes doing better than, like, the gridiron that I just ran had, I think, like 98% resistances? Like, how in the hell is that getting its ass whooped when Phoenixes can walk the Zoes?
There must be a background mechanic. I don't know. you know, I don't know, to be honest. But Ren, go on, sorry, mate. Ren, you there?
Ren?
Oh, I'm here. What?
Yeah, sorry, mate. You had a comment. Sorry.
No, I forgot.
Okay. All right. All right, mate. Okay. Yeah, no, frustrating. Look, I'm just going to say it's please, okay, then, and you know, Rampage, you are the spokesman for us, okay? Then I've never, in all my time, in 6 hours, seen 34 pages, okay, and 10.7K of views on something that's as passionate as this, and I guarantee you, it's not all about Tech Up 2. There's probably none of it in there at all.
And only a
It's
couple
all
hours.
about the FM. Now, I know the sky's falling, you know, and I'm probably the most liberal person about, you know, changes and that sort of stuff and give it a chance and that stuff. The very nature of those ships that's in that particular target, they don't belong in that target. It's as simple as that. They are not part of the target format.
Mark, let me make a comment here. And, you know, I have to think, I usually give a lot of leeway, and I assume, no, you know, that people didn't intend to do it like that. But in this case, I have only two options here. Either I have to assume that there's a whole bunch of dimwits working on this, and which is one possibility, right? But I don't think that's what it is, because those are smart people, right? So the other option is, it was done by design with intention to hurt. Because so many times in the past, they did previews to test the targets, gather feedback, tweak the targets. This time there were no open previews, no closed previews. It was all very secretive, right? Then you could kind of see, and I think Ford and Jeff called that out, you could see the writing on the wall when they start saying, oh, we're going to give you some tokens so you can go and test them out. You know, I think, okay, that's nice, that's cool, but, you know, this was all done by design. So, and how can this group of people, every time they publish a state of the game, say, oh, we're listening to players. No, we're listening to your feedback. When for a year, or actually longer than a year, people keep saying, we want less chores, we want less PvE, we want time to do PvP on our own terms, we want free time to play with our friends and have fun. And all they do is pile up on chores. So now the FM chore will take, and I'm going to be nice here, twice as long, but more likely 4 times as long. You know, and we need a ton of base parts all the time because the turret equipping time went up, skyrocketed, and we need a lot of uranium because the retrofits now are all 70, 80, 90,000 uranium per level, right? It's all the chores. If you look at all the chores, titanium became mandatory and a constant need because of Huggy's shipyard. All the chores have been amplified. All the chores are more demanded now. All the chores need more time because I could take my 3 Apollos out and I could autopilot 91s while I was doing my FM. Right? Now, I got to drive on the 85s and the 83s to get titanium. I'm going to have to drive the heck out of my FM. Hitting twice as many targets that are 3-4 times harder than before. You know, how can they say they're listening to the players?
Oh no, it's worse than that.
Every single goddamn chore went up. It's stupid. Sorry, there.
Or no, that's actually like that annoys me now because it's even worse than that, because they'll come out and say, hey, we listened to the players and we did this, right? Like, hey, we changed this, and then the rest of it's like exactly opposite of what we've said. So they take like one thing and go, hey, we've listened to the players, and hand us one thing out of everything that we've asked for, and then they do the opposite on like 7 other things. But then try and couch it like, you know, I'm an idiot and I don't understand what's going on. I'm not a damn idiot. I can guarantee you. Oh, just.
There there was a huge opportunity because one of the biggest complaints that the players had was it takes me 9 months to get to the tokens, and so Kix took out a bunch of prizes, which was great. And then this come along, and if you look at this on, in the beginning, it's like, holy cow, this is fantastic. Players can catch up. I can take a week's vacation without having to be here and do my FM. I have the ability to get with my lower players and get them to get caught up and get them to the tokens quicker, which speeds the other stuff up, because now we've got to build 2 fleets instead of 1. And it was just such an opportunity for this, and every little piece of good vibes from that, or cred, or whatever you want to use, has just really been blown out of the water, because great, the sprint works really well on the new targets. How do I earn that? Great, there's all these things, and I can choose a prize the right way, or choose a prize and then go straight into tokens. But if I can't get those points, then it doesn't, all of those changes mean nothing.
Look, all the
Bren has just sickens me, because they'll say, oh, we listened to the players, you guys wanted to be able to pick the FM prize. Yes, we wanted that, but we didn't need a dildo in our asses to go along with that.
Well, here, I mean, look, the condescension by itself.
Sorry, everyone.
That's fine. The condescension by itself really pisses me off, because you know what? I'm pretty sure I'm not a village idiot, other than playing this game sometimes. But the problem that I have, and it speaks to what Ren was getting really upset about, and which in turn pissed me off when I started thinking about it, is if this was not malicious in intent for a change, they would not have changed the 88 to the 89, because that was like the gateway into the game, essentially, for everybody. People coming back, people starting, people that had to grind and were trying to catch up on other aspects of the game. They had the 88 to fall back on. If all of these changes were not malicious in intent, the 88 would not have changed. The 88 would have stayed the same, because it took forever to grind that thing. If you're going to grind to tier 5, dude, all the power to you. You're actually in the seat doing the time that they wanted you to in the first place. So why change the damn thing?
Okay. Look, Rampage is in the chat. Okay, so he's watching. All right. I just want to Rampage, take
how's this? I'll invite him. I'll invite him right into the show right now. I have no problem.
Something else I want to do. I want him to take notice of what's in the chat. Right. I'm going to show you a piece of a video clip. Okay. And I want to see the chat respond to the piece of video clip with either a positive or a negative, or is this the thing you are missing? Okay. Now, for me, this is the thing I'm missing. Okay. So flashback. Okay. To this area of the game. Forget the ships. The ships aren't the point. Okay. It doesn't matter what they are. Okay. But if you remember this sort of stuff, when we used to do this sort of thing here, remember that? When was the last time you did that?
Sector versus sector war, ship versus ship. Back when ships only took like 2 hours to repair a fleet or so. That was fun.
Dude, 50, 60 fleets on each side.
After ship after ship. Look at the battle. Engagement after engagement after engagement.
And let me be clear, there was no timer, there was no prize. That was just for the fun of it.
No prizes, no
timers, no tokens.
Battle pirates.
Look, the catch is that PvP was fundamentally balanced then. It is not now. That's the problem.
Yeah, it wasn't balanced. People could show up with predators or whatever and sink your ships.
All that stuff happened before Preds, man. That was like when the Seawolf first came out. That's when it started getting a little bit funky.
Okay, that's battle pirates.
Yep.
Not chore pirates. That's my point. That's what I want to say. If we can get back to that somehow and cut the crap, I'll be happy. But hey, what can I say? You could go at that. You could do 3 or 4 battles a night. It may cost you, equivalent then probably. If you were to spend 50 coin for the whole night, you probably had 30 battles. But by God, you had a laugh doing it. But anyway, that's what I miss.
I mean, look, let's be fair, right? The game's progressed. It's going on 7 years old, right? So there's going to be some changes, and there's going to be some PvE stuff. But I don't think the fundamental problem is the actual PvE. I think it's what they're asking of their players. I mean, I've been saying this for months now. What are you asking of your players? That's what someone there somewhere has got to sit down and look at the whole big picture. Like, you know, you got the chance to do whatever base you want at Kixeye, right? You fit yourself out with the top hulls from everything. Okay, fit yourself out with the best base in the world, best everything. Empty everything out. You have empty warehouses, no uranium, no base parts, no nothing. And fill your ass up while doing a TLC and doing the FM, and then tell me how much fun that's actually going to be for a regular player doing it without the same access that you have.
Okay, I think we'll just close with some points. Okay, quickly, bring the fun back. Okay, and yes, I can shoot targets. I can shoot targets all day long. Yes, I can work out targets. Okay, I used to enjoy picking targets apart. Okay, there's too many of the damn things. Let me go back to play the game that I like to play. Let me build a ship. Let me go and attack somebody. Let me build a base ship and go and attack somebody's base. Cut the crap. I'm sick of it. Ruth?
People who are happy and enjoying the game are more inclined to spend money doing that. I don't want to have to spend money just to keep myself current. I want to be able to get my chores done, go out and have fun, beat up on other bases and beat up on other players.
Ren?
I think at this point, the only thing I can say is roll back. Just cancel this whole FM update. Go back to what it was last week. You know, if you're not capable of just really listening to the players, and all we wanted was to pick the price. Pick the goddamn price. We didn't want individual inflated price per price that you can tweak as you see fit. We didn't want timers. We didn't want harder targets. We didn't want any of that crap. All we said we wanted was, let me pick the price I want. So, you know, I can have the special I need now for the fleet I'm building now. That's all. It was simple, right? Why make it such a freaking mess and screw it up and make everybody hate the game? And, you know, I won't be surprised if they start tweaking it now and giving offers and time-limited offers on coins, and a bunch of people are going to buy it. You know,
I don't want 35 offers. Sorry, I'm sick of offers.
I'm sick of it. I'm very tired of it. And by the way, you won't see any videos, anything on this new garbage FM. That's crap.
Yeah. Okay, George.
I think I said it. I just want someone there to sit down and actually see what they're asking of their players. I think if someone actually sat down and went through the whole thing, they would realize what the hell they've done.
Cool. Okay. On that note, thanks all for coming in. 200 plus tonight. Thank you very much, guys. Clearly, it's a passionate moment for everybody in the game. Okay, and I think it could be a turning point. Maybe not for the right reason. We'll see. Okay. Salty, yeah, it is, but it's the way it is. Okay, it happens. You know, take care out there. Take caution if you are going to start your FM. Remember, there's times. Okay, well, you've got to be really careful. If you think you're going to open one of those chests, it's got a time caveat against you. If you open the wrong chest first and open up the second one, you know, you will lose some tokens and that sort of stuff, so be cautious on that. If you open a chest and it's got uranium and you're already full up with uranium, you're going to lose it and waste your time as well, so really be careful. Okay.
Sorry, Mark.
Yeah, go on.
A late thing. Somebody had just posted something on the page, and I just caught another message as well.
Okay.
Be careful opening your chests. There are reports of where remember the whole blank, where it doesn't award anything. So if you open the chest and it's naked, take a screenshot so that you can send that into customer service, because there are people that are getting nothing in either Tech Up or in the FM.
Maybe it's with the concussive plates.
Don't know.
The ones that don't exist. Yeah. Okay. Right. Thanks all. Look, I'm sure we're going to have a good open mic this weekend. If you get a chance to come in on Saturday, then please do, and have your say, okay? And I'm sure Rampage will listen to that one as well. All I can ask you is to try, and we've tried our best. We absolutely try our best to be level-headed and to keep a real positive spin on things. But sometimes
I didn't.
You just can't. Sorry, but you can't. Right. Venom, you're not invited. Right. Take care all. Night.
Night,
Good night, everybody.
Night.